From downtown Reno and Greater Nevada Field, a United Soccer League showdown tonight as Reno 1868 plays host to the Portland Timbers 2. And hi, everybody. Welcome inside our broadcast booth. I'm Alex Margulies. My partner, Brian Slusser, will join us in just a couple of minutes. Reno coming in as the first-place team in Group A under the reshuffled United Soccer League. They've moved it into groups after resuming play a couple of weeks ago. But they're looking to rebound after suffering a loss at home here on Wednesday night against their arch rival Sacramento, as the Republic were able to win 1-0. On the other side of the pitch, Portland, it really has been a struggle for them all season long. They are 0-5, and they are dead last in both goals scored and second to last in goals allowed. They're trying to find their footing here as we move in to the third month of the season. Let's go now to our key players of the match, and we'll begin with the visitors, a young striker, Giovanni Calixtro, who really was outstanding a season ago, but he has yet to find the back of the net this season. Calixtro does lead the team in shots on goal, and they are hoping that he is able to do something here tonight. On the other side of the pitch, Reno 1868 striker Corey Herzog has just one goal himself this season, but coming off of an incredible career-high 19-goal campaign last year. Ian Russell and company hoping that he can get going here tonight against a Portland team that certainly is licking their chops. Coming up next, we'll give you the starting lineups, and we will have kickoff. It's the United Soccer League here on Nevada Sports Net. Reno 1868 and the Portland Timbers 2. Next. Group A action here inside Greater Nevada Field. Reno 1868 and the Portland Timbers 2. Alongside Brian Slusser, Alex Margulies. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First for the visiting Portland, led by third-year head coach Cameron Knowles. Some changes into their lineup this week. In particular, Mamadou Danso, a 37-year-old center back, has joined the team, and he will make his first appearance with the club. Marcus Epps is their captain. He's in the midfield. Also a veteran with MLS time, playing with Philadelphia as well as New York. And we'll see if this unit can get Portland their first point since going all the way back to September 20th of last year. 10 straight matches without a point for Portland. On the other side for Reno 1868 and Ian Russell, Benji Kikanovich, the young 20-year-olds, in the center midfield behind Corey Herzog at the top. Brent Richards at right back, his 101st start in a Reno 1868 uniform, celebrated that feat, the century mark, the first player ever in team history, on Wednesday in Reno's loss against Sacramento. Out of the gates, Reno pushing down towards the right sideline. Jake Leaker will take a goal kick. Will make his third start of the season in goal for Cameron Knowles. Here's Portland on the attack. Set it out wide. Reno forward wins 2 losses on the season now, 12 points in Group A. Puts them just a notch in front of Sacramento, who has one more game in hand than Reno. Sacramento, though, an impressive 1-0 victory, although we felt like, and even talking to Ian Russell this morning, felt like his team deserved better fate based on the way that they played, and felt like they could have come out at least with a point, but sometimes it's how it goes, and suffered their first defeat in a couple of matches. Reno had a 3-game winning streak until Wednesday.
Yeah, they had a terrific game, just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net, and I'm sure Ian and Reno will really be looking for Herzog to get his first goal tonight. His only goal has come off a PK, and so they'd really like to get him involved in the team, especially going forward, and tonight should be a good night to get that done.
We talked about Portland's struggles. Again, they have not won a match this year, but looking at the tape, you felt like they played pretty well against Sacramento last time out, just a 1-0 loss a week ago.
Yeah, they had a great game against Sac. I think it was the best game of the season so far. Maybe they're starting to find themselves. They are a young team, so they're going to need some confidence, and maybe that game gave them some confidence, and we'll see what they do tonight.
Our match tonight brought to you by Greater Nevada Credit Union, the title sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. Final match here at home for Reno in a stretch of 3 straight before heading on the road to San Diego. Here's Tucker Bone. Good footwork here. Tries to split the defense, finding Rivas. Not a bad try there.
No, it was a good run by Rivas, and too bad Bone just couldn't slip it through.
Bad giveaway there as Jorge Gonzalez will take over for Portland's. Send it high to Malloy. Here's a chance early for the Timbers, and just wide of the nets. Marcus Epps looked like he had an open chance.
A great ball threaded through there to Epps, and Epps just hit it poorly at the end. But a great chance for Portland, and they'll be excited about that start.
What a moment that would have been for Epps and the Timbers here on the road to jump out to a 1-0 lead in the first couple of minutes as he pulled that one just left. Here's Reno quickly going the other way. Some space here for Kikanovich. Goes to the side, centers for Bone, and Bone is barreled down in the box by Danso. Gets back up to his feet. Back out to Francois. Cristiano Francois, and he will earn Reno an early corner kick.
Well, Francois is going to need to be dangerous tonight. He's going to need to find his way around the corner and get those crosses in like Kikanovich just did.
Here's Sergio Rivas. Second season with Reno. He appears now into his 22nd career game with the club. With his right foot, volleys into the box, and it's snatched out of the air by Leaker.
Excellent job from Leaker to get up and snatch that out of the air.
Leaker in his second season with Portland. Also some USL time with the Real Monarchs. He's allowed 5 goals. He's got 5 saves in his 2 matches this year. Flag goes up as Herzog goes down towards the corner, and they'll send it back out to goal. Hey, sports fans, Coors Light, the beer that's mountain cold, made to chill, wants to remind everyone to refresh responsibly by having a plan to get home safely. It's simple. Always use a designated driver or request an Uber. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. 5 minutes down, Portland an early goal-scoring chance. Marcus Epps just barely missing on the attack in front of Ben Beery.
It looks like Portland's gone into a 4-3-3 tonight. Usually they've been playing a 4-4-2, so they're definitely trying something different out.
Mentioned the personnel changes. Danso, 18 caps with the Gambian national team, a longtime MLS player with the Timbers as well as Montreal. So certainly adding a veteran presence. 37. He actually did not play soccer at all last year after playing in 2018 with Malaysia. So trying to get a veteran presence in there with a relatively young team. Not as young as, say, Tacoma was a week ago, but a lot of 20-year-olds, a 17-year-old, and Mitchell Ferguson, who's in the lineup here tonight. So certainly the additions of Epps and Danso give them a lot more veteran experience. Here's a chance for Tucker Brown. Centers it for Richards. Touch back to Bone, who strikes at it, and it's punched away by Leaker. Another chance in here for Reno. Fighting for it is Partita. And he's frustrated with himself as he can't get it away from Hansen, but a good shot there on Reno's part. Bone and Richards combining.
Yeah, and Leaker does a great job getting off his line, getting that ball punched out.
A couple quality saves here early for Jake Leaker, 25-year-old out of St. Louis, Missouri.
That's good pressure from Reno so far, but it's coming. You know, that's what we expected from this evening's match. Now they just need to get some goals behind it.
Thomas Janjigian unable to get rid of that one, and a corner kick now for Portland.
Yeah, it's too bad. He didn't want to. He don't want to give up corners there.
Back to midfield for Portland.
The last game, Reno wasn't able to get Partita and Rivas into the game very much. So hopefully tonight they'll be able to find their feet, work through them a little bit more.
Here's Brett Richards with the captain armband once again. 130 career USL games after tonight. Headed back towards Richards, who puts his right foot in it all the way back to goal. Here's Ben Beery. Made the start earlier this week against Sacramento. Thought he looked good in the net, in front of the net. For Reno 1868, gave up 1 goal, but it was on a penalty.
Yeah, and then he had one big save of the game. Kept Reno in it. But he had a great performance that night. We've seen some really good goalkeeping out of the Reno goalkeepers lately.
8 minutes in here early as Cristiano Francois goes down the left flank. Back from the corner, trying to center it in there for Kikanovich, who is taken down right in front of the keeper, and he's slow to get up.
Well, great job from Portland there to get back, close down space, and then clear the ball.
Here's Sam Gleedle. Played mostly in the midfield last year for Reno, but has a new role at outside back. Reno losing a couple of their players in the offseason. One of them, Duke Lacroix, who started almost every game at left back last year. And it's kind of a position that suits him, although you can move Gleedle around, and he can become a very versatile player, especially in the second half. You want to move him out, and he can be a winger for you. He can be a true midfielder, and certainly in Ian's system, especially at outside back, getting up and down the field suits his play. Yeah,
for Gleedle, he's a gamer. He works hard, both on the defense and offensive side of the ball, and he's great as a winger. So either playing the left back position or playing in that forward position, he can do a good job for you. And like you said, he's very versatile.
Another look at Kikanovich getting taken down. He is still being worked on by Reno trainer Steve Patara.
It looks like he's limped off the field over there in the corner, and trainers are working with him.
And they're going to have to sub him out. So Kikanovich leaving the match in the 11th minute, and coming into his place is Foster Langsdorff. So not what you want to see. Kikanovich, who scored his first career goal 2 matches ago and has really shown to be a dynamic player, somebody Ian Russell is extremely excited about. He has had a lot of positive things to say about this young 20-year-old. Unfortunately, though, after that hard tackle by Danso, he is out for the rest of the match.
Yeah, they're going to miss him. He was a big, strong presence. He's creating goals for others. Got a goal for himself. So he was a strong prospect for the season. So hopefully it's not too serious for him.
On the flip side, good opportunity for Langsdorff, who has appeared in all 6 matches but has not had a ton of minutes so far this season. He has scored 1 goal so far for Reno. Portland trying to go to the left corner. Tucker Bone and Aiden Stanley jostling over it, and Stanley will watch that one go out of play. Brett Richards on the throw-in here in the 12th.
That's great hustle from Stanley. He didn't want to give up the goal kick, try to keep Reno in the corner there.
Langsdorff, a former Portland Timbers player, scored 14 goals for them back in 2018. On the ball is Langsdorff, plays it back to Rivas. Back to Timmer. Taken away. Partita. 3-on-2 fast break coming the other way for Portland. What can they do with it? Goes off of Partita. And a wasted chance there for Portland as they had an opportunity after a bad giveaway at midfield by Reno.
Yeah, it was a poor decision by Timmer. He had options just to move the ball back and keep possession, but then he got stuck with it, and 2 defenders got around him and snatched it from him.
Here's Cristiano Francois with the ball. Swing it around to Richards. He's got some space on that right sideline. Richards with the cross. Leaker got his hand on it and away from Langsdorff.
Great cross from Brent Richards, right on the near post. I almost think that should have been a goal. Needed to get a foot on that.
It's been a theme for Reno these last couple of matches. A lot of chances, but they have not finished very many of them. They picked up a 2-1 win over Tacoma. One of those goals coming on a penalty. And then last time out against Sacramento, a lot of chances early in particular, but did not find the back of the net in what turned out to be that 1-0 loss.
Yeah, it seems they're a little cursed right now. Can't find the back of the net, but plenty of opportunities. They've been playing well, moving the ball well, playing great defense. But in the end, you got to score goals to win games.
Last time these two met back on July 29th, Reno had 4 goals. 2 by Cristiano Francois and 1 apiece for Rivas and Langsdorff.
Well, the goals aren't going to come any easier as the season goes on because they're, getting more familiar with each other because they're playing kind of the same groups each game.
Herzog trying to lay it in there for Langsdorff. Got around Danso, but couldn't get a foot on it.
A good run from Langsdorff. Luckily, the pass was just a little bit too hard.
It'll be interesting to watch those two play together, Herzog and Langsdorff, with some extended minutes tonight. That is certainly, you want to look at a positive of Kikanovic going out. Now you get to see what it's like to have those two on the field for a majority of the match. Given away here, Portland with a chance. Gonzalez, right foot, ricochets off of Janjigian and to the back line.
And some of these giveaways in the midfield, they're just playing with fire.
It's a couple now.
Yeah. You know, I think Sacramento, maybe another team would have, put them away. But just being really sloppy in the midfield.
Here's Carlos Anguiano. Corner kick chance here as we move into the 16th minute. Plays it on the near side, goes back. Malloy. Anguiano. Little combination, back to Anguiano, centers it, and Richards clears it away. Portland has been pretty dangerous here early.
Yeah, and Agriano, he's a quality player. He's dangerous with, on the ball. He can create things for himself and others. Here he is again.
Anguiano. Outside for Gonzalez. Reno clears it back out to midfield for Danso. Tried to thread one in there to Stanley. And it was touched by Bone. Go back to Anguiano, who actually made his United Soccer League debut against Reno 1868 all the way back in 2017. At 20 years old, he's kind of a veteran now of this circuit, even at such a young age. You have a lot of guys on Portland with that kind of distinction. Not much doing there that time for Malloy. And finally, some breathing room for Ben Beery.
Well, we had that conversation with Chris Little about, now that the MLS teams, we're not, trading players back and forth. They're going with more of a younger roster and really working with those young players to bring them up. And it looks like Portland's trying to do the same thing.
Back out wide to Richards. Some nice space there for Richards. He's got Langsdorff on his left. Langsdorff the header. Tried to redirect it for Herzog, but nothing going as Leaker is able to snatch it. Still another good run on a ball started by Rivas as he was able to chip it over the top for a wide open Brent Richards on that right sideline.
Yes, so far Reno's been pretty good about getting down that right-hand side. Seems to be where they're most dangerous right now. I thought their best play was against Tacoma when they were moving the ball through Rivas and Partita. They were attacking the space through the middle, switching the ball left and right. They really need to get back to that form.
Another takeaway in the midfield for Portland. Nice job there by Gleedle. Still fighting here. Anguiano takes it away for Portland. Here comes the run. Wide open shot here for Gonzalez. Now Reno closes defensively, and Gonzalez can't do anything with it. Not out of trouble yet, though. Back to Gonzalez. Right foot is ricocheted off of Timmer, and that was another scary moment for this Reno defense.
Again, so lackadaisical in the midfield and then just giving the ball away, creating the counterattack, and they're lucky not to get scored on right there. And then even defensively, after they lost the ball, they didn't even try to get back there. That reminds me of last season a little bit for them.
Portland once again knocking on the door. Anguiano goes to the other side. Plays it with his right foot. Danso the header. Kicked away by Beery. Good save by Beery. Not out of trouble yet. Janjigian finally gets rid of it. You saw Danso, the veteran 37-year-olds, with a strong header from near the back of the 18-foot box.
Yeah, it looked like he confused everybody, even Barry for a second, but he was able to get it out.
Here's Hansen making a run, knifing through the Reno defense. Francois able to get back in, snatch it away from Gonzalez.
Yeah, just crowded out there. Good run from Hansen, though. Good try to get through the hole.
Langsdorff knocked down, no whistle. Play continues as Richards gets to the outside. Now to Bone. Got to center it in there for Richards, or excuse me, for Herzog. Couldn't time it up. Portland trying to send it back the other way quickly. Now they'll decide to possess. Gleedle.
I think one area Reno could do a better job is their counterattack. It could be a lot quicker when they get going. It seems like teams are doing a better job of getting back before they can get started.
Not sure if you can hear it through your TV screens or TV speakers, however you would describe that, but some fans of Reno 1868 watching from outside of the ballpark, peering through the fences, starting to get their chants going, playing some instruments, trying to spur on the boys. And what has been a tight match here early with Portland's, a team that is desperate just to get a point. They have gone too long without seeing something besides a loss. Mentioned this earlier, though, 10 consecutive without picking up a point, going back to last season.
Well, then going back to this, the game against Sacramento, they had a good game against
Richards with his left foot ricochets, and a corner kick now coming for Tucker Bone.
Yeah, good job from Richards to take the space there and just let it go. Right choice.
It'll be Rivas down to the corner. Nil-nil here in the 22nd minute. Headed and knocked in the air by Leaker, but a solid squared-up header that time for Thomas Janjigian.
Good service from Rivas, and Janjigian gets up, gets a nice header on the ball, but the keeper's there to just clear it away. Good positioning by the goalie.
So Rivas to the opposite corner now. Janjigian keeps it going. Timmer turns and fires, and it's knocked away by Danso. Good job by the center back, Mamadou Danso. Playing well here in his Portland debut. Now Gleedle. Over to Herzog, and the flag goes up. Offside for Reno. Couple trade-offs there at midfield. Goes out. And Sam Gleedle set to throw in for Reno 1868. We'll touch off the head for Herzog. Nice move there by Francois. Francois thought he earned himself a corner kick. Instead, Mitchell Ferguson able to get it off of Francois last, and a goal kick coming up. Community expertise and the medicine of movement, that's what Reno Orthopedic Clinic is all about. And it's why Rock is proud to be the official jersey sponsor of your Reno 1868 FC. 24th minute here inside Greater Nevada Field alongside Brian Slusser. I'm Alex Margulies. So glad you could join us here tonight on Nevada Sports Net or ESPN Plus if you're watching us nationwide or around the world. Match number 7 of this USL Championship season. Portland back on the attack. Sergio Rivas knocks it out of play.
Well, the first 10 was all Reno. Second 10 was, I think, I give it to Portland. And now it just seems to be kind of in the middle of the field now. Not going either way.
Foul against Portland. Rivas tried to quickly put it back into play, but he will be stopped. Outside to Janjigian.
Great ball.
Find some space. Into Herzog. Right foot. Oh, what a finish for Corey Herzog. 1-0. Reno strikes in the 25th minute.
Great run from Gleedle. Excellent pass by Janjigian. And then a great cross in from Gleedle again. And then finally, Herzog getting the goal that he needs. Well, Ian will be really happy that his forward finally got a goal for himself.
Perfect ball in from Gleedle, and that was a phenomenal finish for Corey Herzog, his 21st career goal in a Reno 1868 uniform, and the expression shows it all. He wanted that one badly.
Yeah,
Finally, the monkey off the back for Corey Herzog, his first non-penalty kick goal here in this 2020 season.
And that is huge. If you're a forward, you know how huge that is to finally, open up the floodgates. So we'll see what happens for the rest of the game. Sometime that all of a sudden you can score 2-3 goals and you just go on a binge.
65th career goal in the USL for Corey Herzog. Looking to go wide now is Portland. Harold Hansen runs out of room, though. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. 1-0 Reno thanks to a goal from Corey Herzog. And that has to really feel good for Reno. It has been some time since they have scored. The full 90-plus stoppage in their match against Sacramento, and they did not score in the second half either against Tacoma.
No, much needed goal and well put together. Not just a cheap goal. I mean, built it from the back. Gleedle showing his speed and also his timing.
Francois this time centers it. That one is in. A goal for Sergio Rivas. And it's 2-0 Reno. Francois this time coming from the left side.
Again, the last two games, I think that's what we've been missing from Francois. He's been getting around the corner, but just hasn't been able to get that ball on somebody's head or foot. And here he does a great job. Beautiful cross to Rivas. And Rivas just puts it away with a wonderful header.
Sergio Rivas with his first goal here in 2020. The third of his Reno 1868 career, and Cristiano Francois picks up his team-leading third assist.
We were talking about the right side looking dangerous, and all of a sudden now the left side's on fire.
Two fantastic runs on that left side by Gleedle and then Francois, leading to goals by Herzog and Rivas. And now Reno's got plenty of breathing room and more of the type of result Reno was expecting coming into this match. Portland really putting up a very tough fight early on, and it could have had a couple of opportunities to be up 1 or 2-0, but they were not able to finish their chances. And now Reno really coming on strong, and we'll see how Portland can react. A team that has had so many struggles this year, how do they react now down 2-0?
Well, that's the difficulty when you're having a season like they're having, haven't put a point on the board in 10 games. You're just looking for anything to get back. And I was saying, I thought they had a great game against Sacramento. Thought they'd come out here with a little more confidence. Looked like they were doing pretty well, and then all of a sudden Reno, it's just a dangerous team, so they can catch you off guard, and you make one or two mistakes, and Reno will make you pay.
Stanley on the throw-in. Partita takes it away and gets possession back to Reno 1868. Francois moving down the left sideline. Rivas trying to get rid of it.
You'll notice Gleedle's really making an effort to get higher up the pitch. He's not staying back as far anymore. Becoming more of an offensive threat, and it's made a real difference on the left-hand side.
Trying to go over the top that time to Langsdorff, but he is whistled offside. Reno now with 12 goals on the season. They came into the match tied for 10th in goals scored this year. Reno's been very even, 10th in goals scored, and also 10th in goals allowed. They have allowed at 10 goals. And we go to our first hydration break. Both teams will head to the sidelines, get a little bit of water, something different this season, implementing this hydration break. REMSA reminds you to drink half of your body weight in ounces every day to stay hydrated. REMSA, private, nonprofit, and providing out-of-hospital health care since 1986 without local taxpayer support. I brought my big jug tonight. I've got a gallon in front of me. I'm supposed to drink 1.5 of these a day. I'm doing pretty good, so I'm heeding the advice of REMSA and trying to stay hydrated. It was a warm day today, too. You needed some water.
It was a hot day. I think I drank one of those already by 12 o'clock today because I was out there working with the kids, and they were running me ragged. I mean, within 10, 15 minutes, my shirt was drenched.
Make sure to stay tuned. Las Vegas taking center stage August 25th. Lights FC take on Orange County SC on ESPN Deportes. Looking to maintain the pace set in Group B. Both Las Vegas and Orange County face a must-win on the national stage. Don't miss the drama unfold August 25th at 10 p.m. on ESPN Deportes. 32nd minute here inside Greater Nevada Field. Reno a pair of goals within a 3-minute span.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
All the way back to Ben Beery in goal. Out to Jan Jigian. One of the few players who has started all 7 matches now for Reno this year. He leads the team in minutes. Jan Jigian again.
Takes a little knock there.
Really cemented himself at center back for Ian Russell. Pretty neat deal. He was a guy that joined the team just before the inaugural season. Won a job coming out of camp. He bounced around a little bit between starting and sitting on the bench. Last year, though, was able to get back into the good graces and become a starter at center back. And now, one of the leaders on this club.
Yeah, he's come a long way. And that's got to be said about Ian's philosophy and the way he's been coaching is how he's brought up some of these players like Sam and Gleedle and Jen Jigian. He's just done a great job working with these youth players.
One big deal with the United Soccer League is to develop players, and there's no question Ian Russell has had a hand in successfully developing a lot of players on his roster. Most recently, Danny Mazovsky, look up, now playing in the MLS with LA. Got opportunities for Chris Wehan coming out of that first season in the MLS, along with Jimmy Ockford. Brian Brown now playing overseas in Europe. List goes on and on.
Yeah, so if you're a player who wants to play in this league, I think this is a team you'd want to come play with. Help you develop, get to that next level.
Something going here for Portland. All the way back to Danso. Now to Stanley. A little push from behind from Bone.
Give him an extra little shove just for extra measure.
Ferguson sends it wide. Gleedle tried to take it away. Back to Danso. Finds some space that time for Malloy. Rivas able to quickly close on him. Malloy gets away from Rivas, but he kicks it out of play. Reno 1868 FC Soccer is brought to you by Greater Nevada Credit Union, the official financial services provider of Greater Nevada Fields. Visit gncu.org to learn more about Greater Nevada's passion for helping more people live greater. Now into the 35th minute here in the first half. Reno on top of Portland 2-0. Second meeting between these two clubs, who will face off 2 more times before the end of the 2020 season. Over to Richards.
Good switch from Herzog there.
Partita tried to get it to Francois. Came up short. Nice win there from Gleedle. Gets it to Bone.
Yeah, Rivas just rainbowed it there.
Back to Francois. Right foot. Bounces in front of Leaker. A save that time for Jake Leaker.
That was good from Francois to try to come inside that time and get a shot off. And really, if you're playing that 7 or 11, that's kind of your job, is get around the corner and cross it, or get inside and shoot.
Foul that time against Portland as Bone was trying to get away from Gonzalez.
Just a quick kick in the back of the heel.
Over to Cristiano Francois. Knocked out of bounds by Epps.
You know, there, Reno trying to force it when they could have just switched the point of attack.
Now to Herzog. Sergio Rivas. Rivas, right foot, and pulled it wide.
Yeah, a little ambitious there, taking that shot.
Another look here.
You had Richards off to the right there that he could have played through and gotten in instead of taking that long shot.
Jared Timmer, young center back, making his second consecutive start. Made his first professional appearance on Wednesday against Sacramento and looked pretty good in there.
I thought he had a great game. You know, really all Reno gave up was the one good shot that Barry saved, and then the penalty kick. Other than that, Reno controlled the match and should have won that game.
Outside to Richards. Finds Tucker Bone. Bone spins around. Little space. Bone ricochets. Goal! Tucker Bone with his first strike in a Reno 1868 uniform.
Yeah, he's laughing about that one. He did great work, though. You know, went to the right, went to the left, back to the right, and then he just gets a deflection here. I wonder if he'll get credit for that one. It might go in as an own goal, but
you'd hope so.
Yeah, he deserved it. He worked hard for it.
I'm going to call it now. It's his goal. If somebody wants to overturn me, so be it. But I thought he earned it.
Yeah, he definitely earned it. We'll see what the statisticians have to say.
What's your hunch? Probably going to get taken away?
Yeah,
probably. I think so. We'll vouch for it, though.
Well, he's new to the team, so we'd love for him to have it.
foul again against Portland as Rivas is taken down. Oh, great first half here for Reno. 3 goals. Herzog, Rivas, Bone.
Well, now Reno can really start enjoying the game. There's fans here. They could put on a little show for the fans. But there's plenty of people watching, I'm sure, at home, and hopefully they'll continue to do that.
Portland trying to organize here at midfield. Janjigian with the slide, getting it away from Anguiano.
Well, Langsford's been pretty quiet, but hasn't really affected Reno and what they've been doing, so hopefully he can get more involved as the game goes on.
Marcus Epps on the throw-in. Now, throwing for Reno here in the 41st. Fight here at midfield. Malloy. Up to Anguiano. Hansen. Keeps it in play. And wasted.
Yeah, Epps just let that one go into the high bleachers.
Eight shots in this first half for Reno 1868, and it has led to 3 goals. Pretty good stat.
Yeah.
Good to see this offense backfiring on all cylinders. We've seen so many magical moments here inside this Greater Nevada field.
Yeah,
You think back at the first season, a 9-0 victory over LA. Here's Bone again. Back out to Partita. He's got Richards on his right. Richards can't quite get to it, though.
Yeah, that great run from Richards, and ball is just too much.
So many performances, though, offensively inside this Greater Nevada fields. Mentioned that 9-0 match. You just think of that first season in particular, 75 goals scored at the time. It was a USL record, since has been overtaken by Louisville, who had 83 in 2018. But still, one of the most impressive offensive seasons you'll see. And Reno's had a good offense, period, every single year that they've been in the circuit. They've been in the top half, certainly more so in the top 5. And as I mentioned, they were tied for 10th, which is really not the type of offensive production you expect to see from an Ian Russell-led team. And good to see things really kind of flowing here tonight against a Portland team that is struggling, but they played really well in the first 25 minutes of this match before those goals started pouring in.
No, and as you were saying earlier, I mean, the first or that second 10, or the 10 minute to the 20th minute, they were really kind of taking it to Reno and had a chance to get ahead.
Here's Anguiano. Good ball there, knocked away by Richards. And Stanley will go to the throw-in.
But if anybody, if you know soccer, you got to take care of your chances, because it can come back to hurt you.
Portland had a chance right out of the gates in the 3rd minute.
When it changes everything you can do as a team. Once you get a goal, you loosen up a little bit. You can also play more possession, make the other team chase the ball, try to tire them out. Of course, when you're down a goal, then you're the team that has to chase. So if you can get that early goal like Reno has done, then it's a little bit easier to get the second and the third.
Corner kick coming now as Stanley hit it off of Bone. And Anguiano will set it up. Goes to the near side as Herzog sends it away. Now Timmer uses his head. Malloy goes out to collect. Pickpocket from behind by Langsdorff, and then Rivas is just shoved down from behind by Malloy, and that's a foul against Portland. Final ticks of regulation here in the first half. It has been all Reno 1868, a 3-0 advantage. Perhaps some time to add one more before halftime. Francois fighting, and a whistle again against Portland.
Francois was just about to get around him, and Hansen just grabbed him. Big, strong Hansen there. He's a big guy. And he's got speed. He's been hanging with Francois. But good fight from Francois there to win the penalty. Looks like we got 3 minutes of extra time. Francois is on the ball. He's done a great job of feeding that ball in on these indirect and direct free kicks.
Francois and Rivas. It's Francois with his left foot, headed by Herzog. He's got two. Corey Herzog, the brace here in stoppage time, and it's 4-0 Reno.
Great job from Francois to swing that ball in, and great for Herzog to get a good head goal.
Here's one more look.
Just a beautiful glancing header to the far post. Nothing the goalkeeper could do.
Fans aren't here to enjoy it, but the theatrics anyways. And it has now become an avalanche of goals by Reno 1868.
Did they do? I don't remember that last season with the lights and her.
It's good.
It's nice. It's fun. Makes you want to keep scoring.
Back to Ben Beery in goal.
I don't know what Herzog did to get himself right, but he's got 2 goals tonight, and he was fired up. You could see at the beginning of the game, really wanted to get after it, and good for him. He's got 2 goals.
I was talking to Ian Russell this morning, and he put it very bluntly. He said he's got to start scoring goals because that's what he's paid to do. You know, you're a striker. You're one of the best goal scorers in league history. It's been 6 games. We need more production. And so certainly he has given Ian Russell production, and that is really going to take a lot of pressure off the shoulders of Corey Herzog.
Yeah, it's a tough decision to make as a coach, because you got a great goal scorer that just came off a great year and one of his best, and it's in there somewhere. But kudos to Ian for keeping him in there, riding it out, knowing that Herzog would eventually find his way, and hopefully this is the beginning of good things for him.
So a frustrating end of the first half for Portland, but a phenomenal offensive performance from Reno 1868 as they have matched their highest goal total of the season in just one half. A 4-0 domination by Reno 1868. We'll take a break and tell you all about it after a quick message.
everybody, this is Kevin Bass here with your Reno 1868 FC, here to take a look at the club's mid-season recap. After a 4-month hiatus due to COVID-19, Reno restarted off the shortened season against Donner Pass Derby rival Sacramento Republic FC. Reno keeper Ben Bury's 6 saves held Sacramento scoreless through 90 minutes. In stoppage time, a handball by Thomas Janjigian would give Sacramento a penalty that Cameron Iwasa converted for a 1-0 Republic win. Reno would bounce back in a big way though, continuing the road trip with back-to-back wins. First on the list was Portland Timbers 2, where Reno came out on top 4-1 thanks to 2 goals by Cristiano Francois, as well as goals by Sergio Rivas and former T2 player Foster Langsdorff. Eric De La Cerda started off his professional career strong, with only allowing 1 goal in his first professional start. Reno 1868 FC then moved on to Silver State Cup game against Las Vegas Lights FC. Captain Brent Richards scored the lone goal of the game with an amazing flying scissor kick in the 18th minute off a pass from Cristiano Francois, while Eric De La Cerda kept his first professional clean sheet with 6 saves. Reno then headed back home to Greater Nevada Field for the home opener against Tacoma Defiance. Another tight one, yet Reno still managed to pull out ahead. Benji Kikanovich scored his first professional goal in the 20th minute before Tacoma leveled the match with a goal by midfielder Daniel Robles in the 24th minute. But Reno and Kikanovich weren't done. The rookie striker would draw a penalty in the 32nd minute, and Corey Herzog converted to give Reno the 2-1 win. After winning 4 out of their first 5, the best start in club history, Reno was once again faced with their Group A foe, Sacramento Republic FC, but this time on their home turf. Despite controlling most of the first half, Reno was unable to convert on their opportunities. Sacramento would once again draw a penalty, this time in stoppage time of the first half. Viljan Bijev would convert for Sacramento, snapping Reno's winning streak. Reno is currently sitting at the top of the leaderboard for Group A with 12 points and a 4-2-0 record. Sacramento also has 12 points with a record of 3-1-1, but 1868 tops the goal differential tiebreaker. Then comes Tacoma Defiance with 7 points and 2 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw, followed by Portland Timbers 2 with 0 points and an 0-5-0 record. That's a wrap on our mid-season recap. Until next time, vamos azules!
The USL is proud to bring professional soccer back into our communities and across the ESPN family of networks. Follow your local club and don't miss these exciting matches coming up on ESPN2 or ESPN Deportes.
Dr. George Champus from Northwestern and U.S. Soccer's Chief Medical Officer joins me. The protocols that were created in the case of the USL Championship and USL League One takes well over 50 pages to document. Describe the USL Championship's particular return to play and the role that you played in helping to craft those guidelines.
Yeah, obviously the credit goes to USL. The credit goes to USL, their owners, all the staff, really putting in the work, getting on calls multiple times a week with other leagues, but also recognizing that all the leagues can't be the same, and all recognizing that the elements are different for each of them. And I think it's important to touch on that because it's important for us to be able to create a mitigation strategy, layers of protection that our players are comfortable with, that our public are comfortable with, while respecting the virus. So USL has done a tremendous job. They've invested a lot of time and energy consulting with others to be able to put this forth. Hopefully I was a conduit and someone who provided, that medical expertise and brought everybody together. And if we can all come out of this safe and be able to show a model, not only for sport, but for public, that would be a great outcome.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin.
Right back. The United Soccer League, all 35 championship clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Please join us for a 15-second moment of silence as we are all united against racism. Fans follow Reno 1868 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the nearly 8 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. Alongside Brian Slusser, I'm Alex Margulies here from inside Greater Nevada Fields. Glad you could join us here tonight on Nevada Sportsnet or ESPN+. We'll see what kind of substitutions are made here in this second half. And it looks like already one coming in for Portland. We will relay that to you in just a moment. Maybe an opportunity for Ian Russell to try out some different combinations, and we'll see how that plays out throughout the rest of the evening. And it looks like Caleb Kiner will come on for Portland, and he will replace Harold Hansen. Kiner making his fourth appearance of the season, the first time coming off of the bench. He was replaced in the lineup this week by Mamadou Danso, the 37-year-old from the Republic of Gambia, who just joined the team a week ago. So here we go in the second half. Reno 1868 with that 4-0 lead.
Number 76, Mitchell Ferguson. And number 45,
Looks like a second substitution was made as well. Gerardo Duran is in for Mitchell Ferguson. Duran actually one of only two players to score this season for Portland. He actually scored in that match against Reno back on July 29th. Reno made one substitution in the first half after Benji Kikanovic was injured early on and replaced by Foster Langsdorff. Portland organizing here early in the second half. They'll send it out wide to Aiden Stanley. Good takeaway there by Bone, who is ready for that touch.
Herzog's touch let him down there and just went on to the Portland defender. It'll be interesting to see what Portland does here. They decide to just go for it and just come out and try to get some goals back, or if they're just going to work on some things for the next game.
Corey Herzog knocked over And a foul goes against Portland.
Yeah, really an unnecessary foul right there. Didn't need to do that.
By the way, I was able to confer they did, in fact, give Tucker Bone that goal.
All right.
So he will get credited for his first goal in a Reno 1868 uniform and the second goal of his professional career.
I wonder if we had anything to do with that.
Maybe. Off of one of the Portland defenders, but well-deserved nonetheless. A little skirmish for the ball on the corner, or the sideline rather, and it goes out of play for Portland now.
I think Little's talking to the ref. He thinks he got it wrong.
Here's Kiner. Sends it right back to goal to Leaker. Been a tough night in goal for Jake Leaker, giving up 4 goals. He had allowed only 5 the entire season in his previous 2 matches. Portland now has allowed 22 goals on the season.
Well, tonight it looks like he ran into a very motivated Herzog.
Portland moving towards the goal. Into Beery.
That was a good movement from Epps. They're just kind of dancing along the end line there and wasn't able to find anybody, but good effort from him.
Out to Sergio Rivas. And cleared away. The 22 goals allowed now, that is the most in the United Soccer League. Philadelphia Union 2 held that top spot with 20, but they are idle this evening. They'll play tomorrow against Hartford. So now Portland tied for last in goals scored. They've only netted twice this year, and now last in goals allowed. It has not been a kind season so far to the Timbers, too. Richards trying to go to Francois, and it goes to mine.
Yeah, just they're using. I guess they're using it as a building year. They got a young team and want to get these guys some experience, and it only help them going into the further into the season than into next year.
Throw-in goes all the way back to Thomas Janjigian, and we'll play it back to Beery in goal. Out wide to Sam Gleedle.
Good ball movement. This is what we didn't see in the last game of Partita and Rivas getting involved in the midfield, just spreading things out. Reno's in no hurry. They can move the ball around, stretch it out, get Portland to run, maybe tire them out a little bit, and then they can really go at it in the last 20, 25 minutes of the half.
Richards throws it into Timmer.
He's on sides.
Langsdorff. Swatted away by Leaker. Good run there by Foster Langsdorff.
Yeah, great run. Stayed on sides. Didn't have any help, so just had to go ahead and take the shot there and let it rip, and keeper was up to the task.
So an early corner kick for Reno 1868. Sergio Rivas. Timmer trying to get position. Headed it backwards, though. Francois winds up and punched away by Leaker.
Great save from Leaker.
Not a bad ball there from Cristiano Francois.
I wouldn't be surprised if Timmer doesn't get a goal, on some of these corner kicks and stuff. He seems to get his head there. He's just been unlucky not to be able to put any on goal.
Long throw in for Richards. Timmer trying to get his head on it again that time, and it was knocked away this time by Malloy.
Let's throw in competition. Oh, that hurts. It looks like Rivas is going to take the corner. Herzog's going back into the middle.
Here's Sergio Rivas in the 52nd minute. Headed by Richards right back to Rivas. Plays it back in. Punched out by Leaker. Chance for a Portland counter. Trying to find Duran, and he's waved offside.
A great hustle from Gleedle to get back and cut him off, make him turn back.
Janjigian will put it back into play. Rivas trying to find Bone, and it's just out of his reach.
Rivas is doing a better job coming back and collecting that ball from the back four and then trying to create things in the midfield. He's doing a good job.
Francois on the left wing plays it back to Rivas. A lot of patience from Reno here in this second half with that 4-0 lead. Portland able to win one. Janjigian steps up. Back to midfield to Anguiano. We'll try to go to the left side. Over to Marcus Epps. And a bad ball there gives it right up to Tucker Bone.
Reno looks really organized on the defensive side right now. Doing a good job of covering spaces, getting in front of the ball.
Here's Epps. Epps. Beery able to knock it down. Well, Marcus Epps able to get a little bit of space away from Jared Timmer and took a crack at it with his right foot.
And again, Beery's having another solid game. Hasn't had a lot of work to do, but any work he's had, he's done a great job of taking care of it, squashing it, and then distributing.
In the absence of Reno 1868 having players come down from San Jose, that has created some opportunities. Ben Beery getting a lot of playing time this year, as is Eric De La Cerda. Two guys that might not be getting these kind of starts if Quakes players were here. Think of Matt Bersano, JT Marcinkowski, guys that have played here over the last couple of years. And certainly I think you would see a Quakes goalkeeper here in the net for Reno. So that has been one of the positive things of this USL season, getting playing time for guys like that. Tucker Bone.
Yeah, it's good for them to get the experience. Also good for MLS teams to get a good look at them while they're playing a game and not just in training or practice. So this is their time to shine.
It's possible we may see some San Jose Earthquakes come down here to Reno at some point this season, although the challenges that surround that are much different than usual. Normally players can come and go, but during this season, of course, there's quarantines. There are a lot of different health protocols. So the odds of that happening are not as strong, not to say that it can't happen. It's one of those things that's still kind of an uncertainty.
Yeah, just kind of depend on where we're going in this whole COVID thing. If we can get it under control, and then start opening things back up, and hopefully we can do that, and then start maybe even get some fans in the stadiums.
Throw in from Stanley, ricochets out to Timmer. We'll play it back to Beery in goal. Go to the left side for Gleedle.
Oh, good run from Gleedle. Touch let him down, though. But that's been really important for Reno. This is Gleedle getting higher up the pitch, and him doing that has made the difference, and I think created many of the goals that we saw. Oh, foul there.
Oh, Reno will take possession here in the 57th minute. Cristiano Francois.
A little late. He could have used him before that.
Lidl trying to get it over to Francois. Little shove that time. Francois gets it back and kicks it right into Leaker. Pressure coming again, this time from Richards, and Richards knocks it out of play.
A great fight from Francois to keep on that and then just keep it in. Almost get a goal from Reno again. Sometimes Francois gets a little predictable. There he had Gleedle, could have used him in a little, just using it, playing a 2v2 or even a 2v1 there. And instead he tries to go himself.
Timmer fighting with Epps at midfield. Trying to lead one out into the corner for Stanley, but it was too much. Last touch by Reno, though, so Stanley will be able to throw it in now. Pressure from Timmer. Out to Danso at midfield. Partita took it away, and then a whistle goes against Portland. Talking to Ian Russell this morning, he called Partita the Destroyer. That's his role out there on the pitch. He is a ball winner. And Ian has loved the combination of those two midfielders, Partita and Rivas. Partita the Destroyer, and then Rivas, a guy that's just so calm on the ball, such a technical player. When you put them together at the midfield, you mentioned that 2 matches ago against Tacoma, how well those two are playing together right now.
Yeah, they did a great job against Tacoma. Obviously against Sac, it was a little bit different. They kind of closed up the midfield on them, and they weren't able to get the ball as much. But yeah, I mean, Rivas is a great playmaker. He's good on the ball. He's good. I mean, his passes are pretty accurate. And then of course Partita is just a monster in the middle, winning those balls, and then he does the same thing. He can be really good at distributing the ball out of the midfield too. And even tonight, I'd like to see him get a little bit more on the ball like Rivas has in the last 10 minutes.
Been really good to see Kevin Partita return to the form that we saw from him back in that 2018 season when he burst onto the scene at midfield and eventually won a contract with the San Jose Earthquakes. Unfortunately, went on to tear an ACL and had to have season-ending surgery. Chance here for Portland. What could they do here? Slip and fall from Duran. Duran still able to get a shot off on target, but Beery is there to catch it straight in the air.
Well, and great defense from Gleedle. He could have fouled him, could have given up a PK there, just stayed with him, stood him up, stayed strong. Excellent individual defending.
Now Francois down the left sideline.
Well, see, there's where Francois could go at him. He's 1v1. That's where he should go. The other time they were over there and it was a 2-on-2 and he just wanted to go by himself and not use Gleedle. But that was the time to do it.
Gleedle trying to get it to Rivas, but goes all the way back to Caleb Kiner.
Can't hit the handball there.
What I was saying about Partita, though, got up to San Jose, had that big year in 2018. He came back last year, and he just never looked like he was back. Coming off of that injury, it took him a while to recover physically, and Ian said he is now back to that 2018 level where he is 100% good to go, and that knee is completely healed, and it has been so good to see the return of Kevin Partita, a guy that people in this town are very proud of. He's from Sparks, Nevada, just up the street, went to Sparks High School. It's been great to see him playing as well as he has this year.
Yeah, and it's great to see him starting every game. And of course, we don't even think about how COVID can affect, injuries and things like that. Well, the long layoff, it might give those older players and those injured players a little bit of time to heal and get back to their normal selves. Sometimes you come off those injuries.
Francois able to get into the box from that left side, but his opportunity was pushed away. Now Richards on the right side. One of the defenders fell down in the box, no whistle. Richards still fighting, but it's taken away. Good defensive job that time by Portland. Israel trying to push the pace quickly to the other side of the field. Held up that time by Calixtro. Now Epps.
So yeah, players try to, they try to come back and get involved too soon. They start playing games and they never really get fully healed, to 100%. And that, that little layoff may have just given Rivas that little extra time he needed to get confident and get fit without playing too many games.
Whistle goes against Partita that time as he shoves down Anguiano. Portland trying to move it quickly. Chance here. Beery with a save. What a job in goal by Ben Beery to keep the clean sheet.
These keepers are making it hard for Ian to, to choose who he's going to pick each week. Both keepers have done an excellent job.
Now a counter the other way. Bone with some resistance as he had a chance, but then 3 defenders got back quickly, and Stanley got in his way to break up that run. Now to Richards moving down the right side. Langsdorff stays on side. Foster Langsdorff and shoved away by Leaker.
What a great ball out of the back, threading it through, and a wonderful run from Langsford. And once again, the keeper comes up big against Langsford, and Langsford just can't find his first goal. Oh. Sorry, Langsdorff. My fault.
Corner kick coming up now for Sergio Rivas here in the 64th minute. Goes past Janjigian. Francois will collect it. Cristiano Francois. Richards. Langsdorff. And that one finds the back of the nets. Foster Langsdorff with his second goal of the year. And Reno continues to pile it on. It is now 5-0.
Well, he finally gets to the back of the net on a head goal. Beautiful cross back from Richards.
You couldn't see it there, but it was funny because when Francois initially came down that left side, Langsdorff was throwing up his hands. He wanted to cross there. Instead, it found Richards.
Yeah, and then Richards keeps it in bounds.
What a job.
Back over to Langsford, and he pops it right over the goalkeeper.
So Foster Langsdorff has appeared in every game this year for Reno, and he's picked up his second goal, which is tied for the team lead. He was known as a goal scorer during his time with Portland. 21 goals over 2 seasons.
Well, great news for Ian and Reno to know that they got that Langsdorff can get in there, and now with the injury that Kikanovic just had, Langsdorff's come in and done a great job.
Here's Cristiano Francois. Reno organizing again. Over to Bone. Back to Tucker Bone. Teed it up for Rivas, but he blasts it back into the seats. Saw it again there from Tucker Bone, though. He's got some skill on the ball.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a solid player, which is why Ian's got him in there game after game. It's nice that he's got on the board tonight, and then you've got a few guys on the board this evening. Now Francois just needs to get there. I like that Reno's still going after him, still trying to play their game.
Back to Ben Beery. Herzog.
I think Reno's starting to show they got a pretty deep bench. got guys they can rely on when they have to go to the bench, and which means they can rest if they need to throughout the season. Don't have to worry about too many injuries if they do come up. Good ball movement.
Sergio Rivas trying to go through the teeth of the defense. Sends it out into the right wing to Richards. Crosses it, and a couple whistles here. They're going to have to break this one up.
Yeah, not sure what's going on there. Why him and Rivas got into it, missed it.
See if we can get a replay of that. Pull Rivas off to the side with Epps.
Yeah, he's going to get a good card for retaliation here.
There was the initial contact, and then there was the extra contact from Rivas. And it looks like Sergio is going to go into the book.
Yeah, it looked like the Portland player just got in his head a little bit.
Yellow card issued in the 68th minute to Reno 1868 FC player number 10, Sergio Rivas.
Sergio Rivas will take a yellow card as we move into the 69th minute. First yellow card of the match for either side. Here's Gonzalez. Good move there. Beery once again up to the challenge. Solid work and goal tonight from Ben Beery, 24-year-old from New York. 4 seasons in the USL with Reading. He only played in 12 matches over those 4 years, then won last season with New Mexico, making his second consecutive start this week after playing on Wednesday against Sacramento. By the way, Brent Richards had the assist on the Langsdorff goal. Gives him 15 in his career, and that moves him into 3rd place all time. Here's Cristiano Francois from just outside the box. Keeping possession. Still up on his feet. Look at this footwork. And finally, poked away. And a corner kick coming up. Kiner was able to get rid of it.
I've noticed Francois has been a little more free around the pitch. He's not just hanging out on the left side. He's just kind of finding some extra spaces in there.
Sergio Rivas here in the 70th minute. Deflected by Langsdorff. And a goal kick now coming up. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs across the USL to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent following the success of the first Academy Cup events. Clubs can now apply to participate in the USL Academy League, kicking off in spring 2021. For more information, visit usl-academy.com, hashtag USL Academy on social media. Glad to have you aboard here tonight. 71st minute in downtown Reno. Alongside Brian Slusser, I'm Alex Margulies. Reno 1868, their highest goal-scoring total of the season. 4 in the first half, and then 1 here in the second. As they have really put it to Portland here tonight. And a foul that time it goes against Reno. It's Kevin Partita with the whistle. Timmer coming up to put pressure. They'll get it away from him, though. Outside for Kiner. Kiner trying to get around Francois. Pulls Francois down, doesn't get a whistle, and that's going to be a goal for Portland. Might have gotten away with one that time, but Gonzalez able to finish here in the 72nd minute.
Well, that's a great finish. I'm not sure why that wasn't a foul there when he pulled Francois' shoulder. We'll get a look at it here. Yeah, that looked like a foul to me.
Tough deal there for Reno 1868. But Portland able to strike only their third goal of the entire season.
Portland goal scored by number 70, Jorge Gonzalez.
I suppose it's a little tough to gripe when you're up 5-0, but on the other hand,
Well,
it was a pretty clear foul to me.
if you're the goalie, you have a gripe.
No doubt.
He'd like to keep a clean sheet, and that should definitely have been a foul. There's 2 hands on his shoulders there.
So tough break for Ben Beery. Francois will wait for a little help, then turns on the Jets. Now he's pulled down from behind. That's got to be a clear yellow.
Yeah.
First he got pulled down by Kiner, and Kiner gets away with it. This time you're not going to get away with that one.
Yeah, that's not much different than the first one. So, except for you hold on to him a little longer.
I mean, really, it was basically the same thing.
Yeah. I think that was Francois' argument. Is he got up going, well, what about down there? Now Gleedle's letting the ref know, too. Well, how's that any different?
There's no question. Gleedle will send it back to Janjigian. Across the field to Timmer.
Ooh.
More fancy footwork from Tucker Bone.
He's having a good night. I think this is one of his better games.
Picked up his first goal of the season earlier here in the half, or excuse me, at the end, towards the end of that first half. Scored in the 38th minute.
Yellow card issued in the 74th minute to Portland Timbers 2, player number 48, Max Ornstill.
Another yellow card. This time it's Max Ornstill. So 2 yellows for Portland to 1 for Reno now. And they've all come in the last couple of minutes.
Well, that's one thing about Portland. They do fight in the game. I've noticed they've had a lot of cards in their games. That means they're just, grinding, trying to do anything they can to stay alive. So I give them credit for battling. They just don't give up, which is nice to see a team do.
Sergio Rivas. For some things to sort out. Rivas couldn't quite set it up that time as Leaker pulls it down out of the air. All the way back to Janjigian, who heads it back towards midfield. Then a header by Richards. Portland trying to set something up here. Here's Duran. Chance here. Right foot and buried. 2 goals now for Portland here in this second half. And that was a nice strike from Marcus Epps.
Yeah, and better play from Portland there. I think maybe Reno just let down, but that was, some of the better passes that Portland's put together. And then Epps just buries it.
So Marcus Epps, the captain, with his first goal of the year, and all of a sudden, Portland has their first multi-goal game of the season, and that will take us to our second and final hydration break. Remza reminds you to drink half of your body weight in ounces of water every day to stay hydrated. Remza, private, nonprofit, and providing out-of-hospital health care since 1986 without local taxpayer money. Let's check out some highlights here as Reno has a 5-2 advantage. It was Sam Gleedle that helped break the ice, set one in there, and Corey Herzog with his first of 2 on the night. That was a very nice setup from Gleedle to Herzog.
Yeah, Gleedle's had a great night tonight.
Now Cristiano Francois found Sergio Rivas with his first goal of the year, and it was good to see Cristiano returning to form tonight.
And he's had a great night as well, but a wonderful header.
How about this goal from Tucker Bowen? We weren't sure if it was going to be an own goal, but he did, in fact, get credit for that one, his second in professional soccer. Then Francois on the set piece, and Corey Herzog able to find the back of the net for the second time on the headed goal, as Francois picked up his second assist of the night. Then how about this save from Richards into Langsdorff, and Langsdorff with the headed goal to make it, at the time, a 5-0 advantage for Reno. Since then, a pair of goals by Jorge Gonzalez and Marcus Epps of Portland to get them on the scoreboard.
Again, credit to Portland for coming out, not quitting, and then putting up 2 goals.
Broadcast tonight brought to you by Greater Nevada, which proudly supports Reno 1868 FC on the field and all Nevadans financially off the fields. We are here for you now and moving forward together. 78th minute as Foster Langsdorff gives chase, but it'll go out of play. Reno will have a break in the midweek coming up and then head down to San Diego to play the Loyal, the newest team in the USL Championship. Another chance here for Reno. Francois tried to center it there for Herzog, and Danso was able to defend it.
Yeah, Francois tries to get it on his left foot here, and it's hard to tell if he was shooting or crossing there, but either way, defender did a great job of getting back and getting his foot on it.
Danso at 37, he's looked pretty good tonight, considering he hasn't played a professional game since 2018.
Yeah, and they haven't subbed him out, so he's doing well.
Obviously still in good shape. Longtime MLS player with Portland. Francois stepping up, wins it back for Reno. Takes it inside the box and then had it stripped away by Malloy.
Yeah, trying to pull a little Neymar there, put it in between his legs and go around. Didn't work out.
Interesting for the matchup next weekend. Landon Donovan, the head coach in San Diego, taking on Ian Russell. Pair were teammates at one point in time in San Jose. Had a chance to see Landon earlier this year in Reno before the COVID shutdown. The two teams played a friendly here inside Greater Nevada Fields.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully talking to Landon about his season and everything that's been going on with the Loyal.
'81st minute now. Francois able to stay onside with Langsdorff to his right. Cristiano centers it, and Langsdorff can't finish.
Too bad he couldn't get his foot on that. And really, for Francois would have played that on the ground to him, that would have been a definite goal. So Francois could have helped him out there. But again, he does a great job. Once he gets one-on-one out there, it's go time, and he did a great job getting around his defender.
Who keeps your Reno 1868 players fit to win? Reno Orthopedic Clinic. Official team physicians and experts in the medicine of movement. Reno Orthopedic Clinic. Still the 81st minute. Here's Sam Gleadle now. Dumps it off to Francois. Stays with it. Cross is deflected away. Back out to Richards. The attack continues. Back out to Richards. Deflected and just wide, and Herzog can't believe it.
Yeah, such a dangerous ball from Richards there. And those balls are, hard to defend because if you get a touch on it, you're putting it in your own goal. But almost if you don't, you're letting it run on to Herzog or one of the other Reno players to score.
Corner kick upcoming for Sergio Rivas. Went to the backside, and Langsdorff can't finish again.
He's had quite a few opportunities tonight.
So he's had one goal, but he will lament the last couple of minutes as Portland tries to quickly go the other way and can't control it.
We had the two almost one-on-ones coming down the right side, which he couldn't get a goal on, and two right there in front of the goal. Just couldn't keep it down.
Here's Tucker Bone. Good fight there from Bone, and a whistle goes against Portland. All the way back to Janjigian at center back. Now it's Gleedle. Gleedle with the cross. Danso knocks it away. Out to Francois. Plays it back to Sam. Over to Bone. And Gleedle goes too high. Match tonight brought to you by Greater Nevada Credit Union, the title sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. Reno's had 3 consecutive matches here inside the friendly confines of Greater Nevada Fields. Trying to make it a 2-1 set of games. Another chance here for Portland. How about that job by Partita to close the gap on Kiner?
And in the end, Kiner was able to just muscle him out and keep possession. Good work from Rivas, turn him back.
Here's Anguiano. Fell down, tried to get it back to him. No whistle. Now there is a whistle. And a foul against Reno 1868 will give Portland a set-piece opportunity here in the 85th minute.
Just a little kick from Herzog, and ref let it play on for the advantage and didn't see one, so brought it back.
It'll be Malloy and Anguiano. Malloy drafted this year out of Penn State, making his 5th professional appearance. Anguiano now going to join the rest of his team. Malloy plays it in and headed too high by Danso.
Well, almost chance for a 3rd goal there. Danso does a good job getting up and climbing the ladder. We just can't keep it down.
He's a big target.
He is a huge target. There's nobody as big as him on the Reno team who can match up.
Reno quickly organizing the other way. Here's some space for Bone. Centers it, and what a save by Leaker, lunging to his right.
Well, good header there, but it looks like he was offsides position when he got onto it. And then I think it just hit the post there.
Oof. You're right, it did hit the post. Tough luck there for Langsdorff, who's had a flurry of opportunities here in the second half. As Reno will make a substitution, Emilio Yakaza will check in for Sergio Rivas, and the young 22-year-old from South Florida will make his 5th appearance of the year. From the Tampa area in St. Petersburg is Yakaza. First season with the club.
And hats off to Rivas. Great performance tonight from him.
Notched his first goal of the year, his third in Reno 1868 history. Nice win there by Yakaza, and then he's tripped up, and a whistle against Portland's. Well, that's tonight. 20 shots for Reno 1868, and it has led to 5 goals. That is a pretty solid conversion rate.
Not bad, 1 in 4.
Not bad. 11 from Portland, as they have notched their first multi-goal game of the season.
Oh, he's off.
Well, offside against Corey Herzog here in the 88th minute. It's been a frustrating defensive night for Portland, but I feel like offensively they have to be somewhat pleased with how they have performed. They got some really quality chances early in the match. Couldn't finish them. But then we're able to get 2 in the second as now Reno knocks on the door. Langsdorff.
Offsides.
And Partita was off. But I think they have to be pretty pleased getting 2 goals. It's the most they've had this year. And you look at Danso and the way that he played, I think there are some positives they can take with them back to Portland.
No, in the first half, they started off well. Thought it was going to be a little bit closer game, and then all of a sudden Reno, got a couple goals. Kind of disheartening for Portland since they were playing so well, and then Reno just kind of took it to them at the end. But then all of a sudden Portland decided not to give up the ghost, and they've come back and scored 2 goals.
Portland will resume on the road next weekend in Sacramento, a team they lost 1-0 at home to a week ago. When playing the Republic in 2 out of 3 matches.
We see Portland is just a young team. They struggle with their consistency and keeping things together. But as the season goes on, I'm sure they'll figure that out and become better as a team.
Good job there by Jane Jigian to use his head to keep it away from Gonzalez. Back to Danso.
Good touches from Epps there.
Back to Gonzalez in the middle of the field. Cristiano Francois tangled up again with Caleb Kiner, and a whistle and another yellow card against Kiner. That's his second against Francois.
Yeah, they're just having a hard time keeping up with Francois' speed and tenacity.
By the way, 4 minutes of stoppage time added as Reno looks to close out and pick up their 5th win and keep them at the top of the Group A table. Them and Sacramento both with 12 points coming into the night. Sacramento has played 1 more match this year than Reno. They're also in good shape tonight, taking on Tacoma, and they've got a 3-1 advantage. So they will likely also go to 15 points.
Well, that's a good result for them.
Reno does have more wins than Sacramento. This would be win number 6, while Sacramento has 4 wins as well as 3 draws. It'll be 5 wins rather, but 5 wins and 3 draws.
Well, and they own the head-to-head, so Reno doesn't want to end up in a tie with them.
Certainly not. Back to goal, and Ben Beery. Here's Brent Richards. Tried to play it back to Partita, but gives it away. And now he's tripped up from behind. Another whistle goes against Portland. And it looks like Reno will make a pair of substitutions here in the closing minutes of stoppage time.
Reno 1868 FC substitution.
Diego Casillas and Mo Dabo.
Leaving the game,
As
number
Corey
9,
Herzog comes off.
Entering the game, number 22, Diego Casillas.
Cristiano Francois will also head off.
Substitution for Reno 1868 FC. Leaving the game, number 21, Corey Herzog. Entering the game, number 17, Mo Dabo.
Good night for Francois.
Yeah, he put in the duty and got himself an assist tonight. Unfortunately, couldn't get a goal, but he had a good night.
Here's Sam Gleedle. Gleedle taken down in the box.
Ouch. And he's still down. Again, I'm not sure why the ref didn't call that a foul.
Portland has gotten a couple breaks. They had what should have been a foul in this second half as Kiner pulled down Francois, and then that led to the first goal for Portland. And then that right there, you see Gleedle very clearly taken down in the penalty into the 18-foot box.
Yeah, I don't know if the ref just missed it or he's just trying to keep the game from, even, or trying to keep it under control. As far as the score goes.
Here's Yakaza. Keeps it in.
Great hustle from Yakaza to keep that in.
Chance for one more goal here. Yakaza caught a piece of Danso. And that'll do it. A resounding 5-2 victory for Reno 1868 as they bounce back and remain at the top of Group A, and they pick up their 5th win of the year and move to 15 points on the season. For Portland, the frustrations continue. They have now lost 11 straight going back to last season. If your world could use a bit more chill, reach for a cold Coors Light. With mountains that turn blue at Peak Refreshment, it's made for one thing and one thing only, to chill. Mountain Cold Refreshment, made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly. A 5-2 win tonight for Ian Russell and Reno 1868 as he picks up career win number 56 here in his 4th season with the club. Alongside Brian Slusser, I'm Alex Margulies. Our broadcast brought to you by Greater Nevada Credit Union, title sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. Take a look at some of the second half highlights. Both teams would come out with some chances early. Cristiano Francois put one on target, but a nice save knocked away by Jake Leaker. Both him and Ben Beery up to the challenge early in the second half. Here was Beery's big save against Gonzalez, but from there the floodgates would come back open as Francois finds Brent Richards. What a job there to keep that one going, and then the headed finish from Foster Langsdorff.
Yeah, Langsdorff had to come in for an injured Kikanovic, and he did a great job tonight. Had plenty of chances, probably should have had more than one.
Mentioned that play where Kiner pulled down Francois. That's what led to the first goal for Portland. Then a few minutes later, it was Marcus Epps, the captain, finding daylight behind Beery. Nice goal there from him as Portland has their first multi-goal game of the season. Greater Nevada proudly supports Reno 1868 FC on the field and all Nevadans financially off the field. We are here for you now and moving forward together. Let's take a look now at our save of the match presented by Nevada Donor Network, who encourages you to save lives by registering as an organ, eye, and tissue donor hero at registerme.org. Our save of the match, check it out one more time. How about this? Ben Beery punching away a ball from Jorge Gonzalez. Beery would give up 2 goals, but a good job in the net in his second consecutive start for Reno 1868.
Yeah, he had the save of the week last week, another save of the week this week. Unfortunately, they got 2 goals on him. One of them probably shouldn't have been a goal. The penalty should have happened before that, but he had another great night.
So up next, Reno 1868 will head to the road. They've only got 2 road games left. They'll play in San Diego a week from tonight. They'll play in Sacramento on the 12th. Outside of that, though, everything else here at home, including back-to-back matches against Phoenix and Portland's. And we will have those broadcasts for you right here on Nevada Sportsnet. All of these matches on NSN, but myself and company, whole crew, we will be here ready to rock. Phoenix coming to town, and then Portland's 7 o'clock Pacific time. Another great night here at Greater Nevada Field. The Reno 1868, the boys in blue, with a 5-2 winner. And they pick up their 5th win of the season, 15 points, and a top spot in Group A. That's going to do it for us tonight here from the ballpark. Glad you all could join us. Wish you all could join us at the ballpark, but for now, this is the best that we can do, and we appreciate you tuning in here tonight. For my partner, Brian Slusser, I'm Alex Margulies. For our entire crew, thank you so much for watching USL Championship action here on Nevada Sportsnet and on ESPN+. We will see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.